Welcome to Talk Travel with Heather Tate, North Mississippi's podcast for savvy travelers. Talk Travel with Heather Tate is a weekly podcast that airs every Monday on the Shark 102.3 FM radio station based in Ripley, Mississippi, and is then released as a podcast. Travel advisor and travel enthusiast Heather Tate of Whimsical Destinations gives listeners expert travel tips curated through the years of personal and professional experience. By clicking subscribe, you'll have a new travel tip to add to your collection delivered to your podcast library every Monday. Talk Travel with Heather Tate is brought to you by Sun Bear Studio. Sun Bear Studio is a boutique recording studio in the heart of Ripley, Mississippi. When you record with us at Sun Bear Studio, we can mix, master, register, and publish your music, your podcast, or your family story. Email us when you're ready at sunbear@jc.media.
This program was recorded at Sun Bear Studio in Ripley, Mississippi.
Good morning, Northeast Mississippi travelers. This is Heather with Talk Travel with Heather Tate, and I am so excited to share my adventures and tried and true tips with you, whether you are also a seasoned traveler, a hopeful traveler, or currently an armchair traveler, meaning you're going to follow along with us from home for now. This is our 201st episode of Talk Travel with Heather Tate, and this week is all about summer vibes and thrives. If you're like me, then you feel the pressure as a parent or even as not a parent, just as an individual, to make every summer magical. And you have heard the saying, as parents especially, it says we only get 18 summers with our kids. The good news is I'm seeing multi-generational travel on the increase. Several families are traveling with their adult children this summer. And so it doesn't mean that after high school, family memories and vacays are over. So I wanted to remove that pressure. So with pressure removed, what can you do to thrive this summer without feeling overwhelmed and be able to look back this fall on the summer with no regrets? Now, I brought with me my own personal expert of fun. Say hello to Christian, my 9-year-old.
Hello, everybody.
So when he asked me which episode would be great for him to join me on, I was like, this one is all about you, Christian, because you are really good at having that chill vibe. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay. I can get, intense sometimes, but that's why I feel like tropical places like beaches and sandals are a whole lot more chill and relaxed than your places like Universal and Disney, where it's like go, go, go all the time.
So I like the point that you're already making, that it can depend on the circumstance how you're feeling. And I know, having traveled with you your entire life, that there are a few things you love more than a virgin pina colada in your hand, right, on the beach.
Virgin pina colada and frozen butterbeer.
Oh, those are two of your
It depends
favorites?
on if I'm at tropical or theme park. But I would just say that I go at it with a whole different perspective. I'm going to be like, I'm chilling in the Caribbean, not worrying about anything. But at theme parks, I'm like, I got to ride this ride and now this one.
So I understand, and I feel the same way. It depends on the circumstance. Now, I will say, on average, though, I am probably more itinerary-driven than you are, I would say. And so we're going to talk a little bit today, not just about travel this summer and how to make it, epic, but how to even enjoy the moments when we're at home. So the whole summer experience, not just the vacation, because we're going to talk about balance. And balance is something that we constantly have to work towards. You want to make sure that you're doing things, that you have things that you can look back on and be proud of and be glad that you did them and have those memories. But you also need to build in time for rest and relaxation. So what are your personal goals or plans for the summer? Are there things that you want to make sure that you do on the fun side and things that you make sure that you do on the relaxing side? What would you say?
Yeah, I would say I have something for both. So one thing that me and my brother London, who he's been in quite a few of these podcasts or radio shows, is that we want to start a landscaping business type thing. So I feel like, and I also want to relax on my computer and TV on some days on the summer because you're out of school and you should be able to relax. But I feel like just as a kid, I feel like I'm just trying to encourage everybody as a kid that's hearing this as just to not just like be on screens this whole summer, but to also get out and try something new like our landscaping business that we hope to start up pretty soon. And if you follow on Facebook, my mom and dad, that they'll be sharing stuff about that.
So that leads me to something. I'm really glad you brought that up. So something this summer that you could do is you could learn something new. And you just touched on that. That was one of my points that I wanted to make. So not only would I recommend that you make time for your current hobbies, because if you're like me and you have hobbies, that those are the first things to actually go when you're busy. If you're busy and it's something that you love to do, but it's not something you have to do, we can let that go by the wayside. So if you were to sit down and you were to think about what are your favorite things to do? What do you enjoy most? And then ask yourself, when was the last time you did any of those? So whether it's gardening, painting, building things, sculpting, fishing, going on bike rides. Like that's something that's got to be on our list this summer, Christian.
It is, and everybody has their own hobbies and everything, so not everybody will enjoy the same type of feeling. Like I'm sure, going back to the trip things, that there's a lot more people that would prefer theme parks, and there's a lot more people that would prefer tropical. But that it just depends on your own perspective of what you like.
That is a very great point, because not everybody has the same hobbies, not everybody has the same preferences when it comes to travel. You're exactly right. So whether for hobbies it's something that you love to do that you find that you have not done in a while, or it's something new, like you're saying with the landscaping, like that is a new interest that you have taken on, and you've been doing research on it, and you have actually been taking your first jobs. And I can tell you that my yard is looking better than it has in years, and you have more accounts on the horizon, even one business that you are going to be working on their landscaping.
So that is true. I have been getting some practice in at home. So if anybody does need any landscaping done this summer, you can also find us on Facebook, on my mom's Facebook page.
So, and let's talk about from the learning something new, and we're going to talk about trips in just a moment, because I love big trips. So we've got some big trips planned for this summer for sure. But if we're talking about local first, I want to mention some ideas like what happens if you're not planning on doing a big trip this year. That's fine. Like maybe, the cards just did not fall in the right way for you to be able to do that this year. How are some ways that you can enjoy your summer right where you are? Okay. Being a local tourist is one way, and I have several episodes about this, where you can look at where you live through the eyes of a tourist and go to somewhere new, whether it's a new restaurant, maybe it's a festival nearby that you've never been to, maybe it's one that requires a little bit of a road trip. There's one I really wanted to go to in Tennessee just a week or so ago. That was a lavender festival, and a lavender festival has been on my bucket list. So if it doesn't happen this summer, I'm going to make it happen next summer for sure. But there's lots of great summer festivals, farmers markets. Christian and I like going to different farmers markets.
I love my fresh fruit and vegetables.
Yes, I do too. And we always find something. Christian is my shopper buddy. Like Logan and London do not appreciate the fine art of shopping like Christian and I do. That's a passion that we have together. We're dangerous together.
That is definitely true. We have definitely bought out quite a few stores.
So if I want to go somewhere and have a reason to spend money, Christian is my buddy. If I'm trying to control my spending, then we take London with us, and he kind of puts a damper on our fun. In a good way, though. In a good way. All about balance.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, there's always going to be something else I want to buy.
Yes.
So he always sort of ruins the joy with that.
Well, that's okay. He keeps us. He keeps us on a budget. That's good when your 14-year-old son and your 14-year-old brother can keep us accountable. Now, when I was saying like things locally you can do, what were some things that you were thinking, Christian? Is there something on your list for this summer that you want to make sure that we do? That's nearby.
Well, you know, even not necessarily, I feel like you can just have a great summer even at your house. Like, there's a ton of science and chemistry experience I want to try out this summer. Like, whether it's the classic Mentos and Code experiment or making a baking soda rocket.
Oh, these are great ideas. So it doesn't have to mean that you're going somewhere. It's these things that we really mean to do throughout the year, and we get so busy that we don't get to do them. And I know you love science experiments, and I think that that's a very good point, that it's not just leaving our home locally, that we can do things, whether it's projects or, like in your case, like science experiments that I haven't made as much time for that I should have, that we can do together.
Well, because I mean, in like some of my favorite times and best times was not even going on a trip necessarily, but just spending time at home, having a fun time with my family, doing experiments and stuff like that, and like playing with them and everything, doing that together. So it doesn't have to be the places as much as the people sometimes.
And I think that's great. And Christian is definitely my child that appreciates being at home the most. London is like me in that he has to go somewhere as often as possible or he gets restless. Whereas Christian enjoys going places, but he gets his energy recharged at home. And so you can have multiple kids who they both can enjoy traveling, but they have a different perspective on which one recharges them. So we talked about some things as far as what you can do at home. We're going to touch on a few things about last-minute trips. Now, last-minute trips in the summer, I'm just going to be honest, it's difficult to do a last-minute trip in the summer and save money while doing so. Really, summer travel is a peak time when families are traveling, so your flight prices are usually going to be higher. And your resorts, if you're wanting to go in the Caribbean and an all-inclusive for families, if you're wanting to take a cruise with families, those are higher in the summer. So what are some ways you could still travel, maybe last minute, and save some money? Well, one thing that we love to do in the summer is we travel with friends, right? Or we visit friends. So if you have friends that live in different places, this is a great time to meet up. Summer's a perfect time for that. What were you going to say, Christian?
I was going to say, like, I was going to go along with what you were saying. With flights are crazy in the summer, like, or just nowadays, they can literally be the price of your trip.
That's exactly right.
But, and then the other thing that you mentioned with your friends is back to the thing where, like, having a good time with family and friends and everything like that is some of my favorite trips. Have been Croatia and stuff like that with your experiences, but then also your experiences with, like, friends and everything that you know and can joke with, and it just loosens up the vibe having somebody besides your family, because even though we all love our family, we can all I feel like we can all agree that we get tired of them every once in a while, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but that we will get tired sometimes. So it's good to have friends there with you to, like, loosen up give you variety, sort of.
I completely agree. And on that note, I'd like to point out that sometimes our personalities can be different when we are with friends. And I'm not going to name any names, but someone I find is a little bit more chill when other people are around than when he's just with his parents and older brother. What would you say?
And who would that be?
I will say that when we are together, our family of 4, like we have a lot of fun, but we are our our most extra.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Would you say that's true?
Yeah, I would definitely agree, 100%.
So sometimes when we travel with friends, it's almost like you have your own kind of like calming goats with you. Then you dial it back just a little bit because you're like, you know what, my family has to love me, but my friends, if I want them to travel with me again, I may need to not be on an 11 out of a 10. I might need to be like on a 7 out of 10. Energy wise,
Yeah, that's fair, but like I feel like it's good for both families because then you can see or like and interact with their family and see and like they'll be better and like I feel like sometimes or like on a less energetic level and you can bond with them and then they'll be able to bond with you and we'll be less energetic.
And not I would say meaning just like not bouncing off the walls,
Yeah,
right? Like you still have energy.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, me myself. One fun fact about me, I've climbed up a mountain and still been talking before, so I definitely have a ton of energy.
Yes, you do. And it doesn't matter, you're right, if you're going up a mountain or not, you can still talk. Well, I think 7 hours straight once might be the record in a car ride with you. So let's talk about road trips, since we're talking about friends anyways. And we have some friends who live in Georgia who we make a point to go on a trip with them, I think every year, whether it's we go visit them or sometimes they come visit us or we go on a trip out of the country together. Or in this case, this summer, we're doing a road trip to Pennsylvania together. And I know we're really excited about that. It's going to be a new place for you, even though you've been to Pennsylvania just a tad. When you've driven through it, you haven't really experienced it before. So are you looking forward to this road trip?
I'm definitely looking forward to this. And it will be a lot of time in the car, which I'm fine in planes for a little while. I'm fine on a boat. I guess basically anything besides the car.
That's true.
Because
so that's not your favorite method of travel.
Yeah, because you're basically with your family for so many hours at a time. Who I said earlier, we all love and everything, but sometimes like at home it's good to spread out and take some moments to yourself.
Yes, and in a car trip, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, you can stop and stretch your legs every once in a while. Oh, can I say where we're going in Pennsylvania?
Yes, you can say where we're going.
We are going to Pennsylvania, Hershey.
Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Hershey, Pennsylvania. So that will be really fun. They have an amusement type park thing there. Mm-hmm. And I love chocolate, and I love Hershey chocolate. And I love making homemade chocolate.
And where else are we going? Do you know? A battlefield nearby? Gettysburg?
Oh, yeah, Gettysburg.
So you're getting some, and you like history, and we're planning on going to Philadelphia too. So you're getting a mix of history, which you like, and then chocolate, which you love. So we're looking at it this summer as we want it to be both fun and educational. So we're going to do a mix of both. So I'll have to have you back on at the end of the summer to talk about these trips after we've had them and what your favorite things have been. All right. Well, that's almost all the time we have for this week. Christian, I really enjoy you being on with me today, and you offered a lot of great insight from a kid's perspective that to make the summer magical doesn't mean it has to be filled with one epic adventure after another, that it needs to be said that we don't need to forget those moments at home, whether it's a cookout in our outside fireplace. That, man, we haven't done that in a while, have we? Toast some marshmallows, have s'mores at home.
I'm looking forward to that again sometime, maybe even this summer. But I'm excited for that, and just some things come unplanned, so just seeing what the summer provides for you and brings toward you.
Oh, I love that, right? There's unexpected moments, so not everything needs to be planned. So that's what we're going to end it on.
So,
okay?
Some of my best moments in life have been unexpected moments.
I love that, to not over-plan, and you have a mother for a planner. So I know that you mentioned that you're right, that sometimes these moments happen that we couldn't even plan for, but we don't want to miss them. And so you have to take these serendipitous moments as they come and enjoy them. And you help remind me that every day. You make me a better person for that, Christian. So thank you for tuning in this week to Talk Travel with Heather Tate and my special guest, Christian Tate. And if you are not already a member of our Facebook group, Heather and Logan Tate Whimsical Destinations, we hope you join us on that to see more tips and activities for this summer that you can enjoy with your family.
And family fun that we always bring along.
That's right, and the family fun. Whatever you're doing this week, make some memories with your family. Life is short. Take the trip. You won't regret it.
This show is made possible by JC Media, LLC in Ripley, Mississippi. JC Media owns the Shark 102.3 Classic Rock FM radio station where the show is hosted. Subscribe to our podcast on your favorite app or stream episodes online at shark1023.com/podcasts. We also have an email in which you can share your feedback. That email is theshark1023@gmail.com.